We're live.
Okay, well, welcome to Streaming Graveyard. I was going to do that thing where I was going to pretend this time I forgot our name because last time I just forgot our name, period. Hi, we have a panel of three today, which I think is going to be the way we do this moving forward. We are talking about Halloween3, which, by the way, I have never seen Joe Bob Briggs hate on a movie as intensely as he hates on Halloween3. And I mean, this guy has shown some pure trash and found the gold lining, but he definitely just does not have a good relationship with this one. And well, hey, anyway, Angel Cat, Debbie, walk us through. Introduce yourself. Say hello. We'll walk through later.
Hello, I'm Angel Cat, Deb, aka our fact-finding queen, and don't we have a title card?
We have a what?
The title.
Yes. Well, introduce yourself first. We'll get to it. Come on.
I didn't do the intro. I'm Debbie. Hi.
Hi.
Moving on.
And joining us is my good friend Gail, one of my closest friends, and it is great to see you. And yes, see you. I mean, we talk on the phone, but this is the first time I've seen your face in 3 years or something. Way too goddamn long.
Yeah. It really.
Anyway,
your hair's gotten way too goddamn long, and I love it.
All right. Anyway, and this is. Streaming Graveyard. Hello. So, who wants to start off here on this spectacular piece of cinematic art?
Well, we have Halloween3, Season of the Witch, available on Peacock, AMC Plus, Apple TV, Amazon, YouTube, and Fandango at home, if anybody is interested in watching. And it was written by and directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who also did Amityville 2, The Possession, Fright Night Part 2.
One moment.
Oh.
If I may, point of order, if you're going to do the tombstone tallies, we
might
might as well have the tombstone tallies, because I have a feeling you're just about to go straight into them, and why don't we bring it up? Go ahead, please.
Yes, but also one of Tommy Lee's most famous films was the director for Stephen King's It, the miniseries starring Tim Curry. So yes, we have the tombstone tallies for Halloween3. We have 29 kills, 14 times the damn commercial played, and it's still stuck in my freaking head. 3 masks, 1 boob, 1 May-December romance, 1 Dick Warlock cameo, 1 understaffed hospital, 1 saved small town, 1 crappy phone service, 1 underappreciated special effects team, 1 toy factory that doesn't make any toys, too many title cards, 1 screwed up version of Samhain, 1 well-dressed security team, no understanding of time zones, and 1 Stonehenge rock. Yeah, yes, you got that too, huh?
That was my first note. Well, not my first note. I have a lot of notes, but yeah, I was like, wait, this doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like the title cards are like December 27th, December 29th. I'm like, okay, you could just say next day. You don't have to. I understand they're like trying to show the time span of this film, but it's like very weirdly rushed and slowed at the same time.
I thought you were actually referring to the part where like everything happens at one specific time, but it's not actually one specific time because time zones exist. So like when the commercial triggers things, it's like, no, but like the people on this side of the country will know before these people. There's like a 3-hour. Anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of time zone difference, we were having trying to figure out California and Pennsylvania time. But yeah, they do talk about the fact that it's like at 9 o'clock it's supposed to happen. Great.
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock
on
where?
Coast.
Exactly.
Because if it happened at 9 o'clock Pennsylvania time, it's going to happen way before California, and California's going to know, and it's like, oh, don't put the mask on. So.
Right. Exactly.
Well, if I remember, this is John Carpenter was still in the franchise at this point, and doesn't he not like leaving California? So I'm going to say this is probably Western time.
Yeah.
So everybody on the East Coast is like fine.
No, everyone on the East Coast gets turned into zombies at 6.
But like, is it? But they didn't say 6 o'clock. That's what I'm saying. Is like it was just they weren't even trying to like localize anything.
Right.
Even though they had pictures of like, they had like the film capture of like all these different places where people were. It looked like honestly just different parts of LA from what little of LA I've seen. I'm in San Francisco, so.
And according to this universe, there are only 3 channels that you can get.
Right. Which
I didn't get either. I remember.
I will
say.
You're both. Honestly, you're both way too young. There was a point where only the 3 major networks counted. In Pennsylvania, it would have been 3, 6, and 10.
Right. Oh no, I remember 3, 6, and 10.
Yeah. So I mean that makes sense a little. I mean, but yes, it avoids UHF, but no one counted them back then anyway.
No, and also like, 3, 6, and 10 from Philadelphia is significantly different than the stations that are playing in California, even if they have the same commercials and stuff. Like, they're not going to be that same. I don't know. It's fine. We have to accept some level of dramatically appropriate if we're going to.
They're going to be more synced up now because you do that on TBS and USA and.
I mean, again, God bless the internet. Digital has made everything so much easier. Back then, it was a lot harder to do stuff like, use a phone. Oh my God, that phone booth made me so happy.
Oh my God,
I don't know what it's like to put a dime into the machine.
Oh my God, I am insane. Please, these commercials are going to kill half the world. Take them off the air. I know what I'm talking about. I'm a doctor. Yeah,
no, it just the audacity of the white man.
A drunk doctor.
Yeah. Yeah, a super a super drunk who doesn't actually ever suffer the repercussions of being a drunk. They just show him with a drink in his hand all the time.
He's divorced. I mean,
well, yeah, he's obviously a terrible dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was telling Anthony earlier, the majority of this movie feels like a drunk divorced dad fever dream. It's like him getting to be the hero and getting all the girls.
Oh my God. Yeah. And in reality, he's like face down in a gutter, like in a pile of his own puke. Like, yep.
Do we have a timeline on when, and if someone could get this would be phenomenal. Was John Carpenter ever divorced? And does it line up with the actual production time of this film? Because I think that would be worth knowing.
No, he has been married to Sandy King since 1990.
Wasn't that his co-producer on Halloween 1?
She's a film producer, yeah.
Oh wow!
But he's been married since 1990, so he wasn't married at the time this movie was made.
Oh, okay, no. Okay.
Thank you, Google.
Oh well, no. Actually, at the time he was married to Adrienne Barbaro. From 1979 to 1984.
This is why I'm not the fact checker. Thank you. I was wrong.
Yeah, so this movie would have been made before he was divorced. So
all right, now I'm going to say
wishful thinking, maybe.
I'm going to say divorcing Adrienne. I mean, come on, you've seen Carnival. Even like in her later years, that is a gorgeous woman.
I mean, there had to be something else going on, Beauty can't solve all of our problems, despite what Hollywood always wants us to think.
Oh, I blame John.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be. All right, so I guess we're going to pull this up again and start to... By the way, boob? Was it really only one boob? Like, literally, it was half a boob shot?
It was one continuous, way too long boob shot when our May-December of next year romance... started. It was from my understanding, I did write this down. Our actor, Tom Atkins, was 47 at the time.
I wrote this down too. Yep. Go ahead, please.
Our female lead is Stacey Nilken, was 23. So he was more than twice her age, and they had this. Oh, my father just died. We went on a road trip with a 6-pack of beer. Yeah, we can sleep in one bed, and here's my boobs.
Give me give me 5 seconds to talk about this, or you guys talk about this for 5 seconds, because I need to grab something. I'm going to go off screen, but I feel like there's material there, so absolutely run with it, and I will be right back.
Okay.
Material.
Material. Well, we can start with the fact that this guy is trying to act like this generation's Mr. McDreamy. Like,
yeah,
it
I was
was
super creeped out. Like from the very beginning, I'm like, this guy's gross. He's such a terrible person. Main dude, first line, first
horrible
note. Main
father.
dude is hella skanky, drinking, driving, and doctoring? Question mark. Like,
Yes.
yeah,
Oh my God. And what does he do when he has a patient that's in a weird comatose state, saying they're all trying to kill us? And just stick him in a room. I'll go pass out in the doctor's office.
yeah. We'll
And
just
he
keep him for
snaps a
observation. It's
nurse's
fine.
ass. Yeah.
Angie,
Oh,
No wires,
Agnes
no
did not
protective
deserve
anything.
that. Agnes should have turned around and cold clocked him. I would have applauded so hard
Oh,
if she
yeah.
had just turned around and bitch slapped that boy. She did not deserve that work.
Well, it was a different time.
Doesn't matter. You don't respect a lady like that.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So I
Justice
know
for Agnes.
so I'm looking at my notes, and I know we are I know the idea was that they were businessmen. And yes, the whole thing is the notes were on my phone, and I literally need to walk to the other side of my room to get my notes. This is, hey, we do this live.
Yep.
So I know they were supposed to look like businessmen, but did anyone get the feeling that the killers were all Mormons?
I was thinking
Or
boy
is that
band.
just me?
I was thinking like oh God, what is that? Like Brit rock boy band. Those were the vibes that I was getting with the
Oh,
haircuts and
God.
the outfits. Yeah,
I think you were way kinder than me.
probably.
I was getting Hollywood version of some secret government agency. That's what I was getting with these guys in the suits.
Well,
And
apparently,
speaking of which,
you
one
know,
of them was in fact one was in fact Dick Warlock, aka the man who played Michael Myers in Halloween 2. And so we get to see him without the mask. And why did they ever put this man in a mask? He was fucking gorgeous. He gorgeous white hair, and does one of the insane kills of the movie, because all these kills in this movie are the fucking best. I can honestly say, out of the movies we have seen so far, this had the best kills.
well, that would be the best production value too. I mean, of the movies we've watched, this was probably the highest budget. I'm doing a quick fact check here. So that is a thing. What about the pulling the guy's skull apart in the hospital? I mean,
just that, like
that's pretty brutal.
I had to watch that twice because at
brutal.
first I was like, what did he pull the no, not the eyes? That was just that the amount of finger strength in that, you know, just like the physics broke my head for a second.
The one that got me was the woman who was putzing with the microchip that fell off the mask, and it shot the laser. Oh my God. I was watching that and I'm just like, what the fuck? And then just a bug starts crawling out of her mouth, and it's like, okay.
I can buy the laser turning her face inside out. I can buy the fact that she wasn't killed by that. Where the fuck did the bugs come from? Oh, by the way, they're where was it?
Well,
I did look them up. Do you have the bug information?
Oh, someone please go with that. I do not.
What buggy
I'm looking for my notes right now. God damn it.
Okay.
I made so many stupid jokes to myself, and now I can't find it.
Yeah.
They're called Jerusalem crickets.
Oh.
Because I was like, what the fuck is this spider ant thing? Yeah, it's called a Jerusalem cricket. They're large flightless insects native to North and Central America, Asia, and South Africa.
Okay.
And they are there was a oh man, I can't find it. They're more you know, it's more of that allusion to like witchcraft and stuff, which is funny because they're called Jerusalem crickets, but whatever.
It is literally like they went to a bug and snake store and just guess the creepiest looking shit. Just all the creepy shit. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Especially
good
that
job.
rattler. Oh my god, the rattlesnake just got. I can't with the snakes. I can't.
Why? Just so many
Because
whys.
it's
So many whys
scary.
in that. It was scary. It was scary and weird. And I'm like, no, but for real, like, did the lasers implant eggs or something? Like, where did the bugs come from?
It's druid magic.
Look,
It is evil druid magic. It can do anything. It's evil druid magic.
True.
You know, I love technomancy as much as the next person. It's just there's a level where my brain says, no, I'm sorry. There's only so much verisimilitude I can provide in this situation.
Yeah, I'm definitely the queen of just take your brain out, just sit down and enjoy the movie. But there are certain parts my brain just went, this makes no sense. And then we have to go online and try and go up Wikipedia and WebMD and all that bullshit.
So,
yeah, I mean, that's why I had to look up the bugs. I was like, okay, well, at least let me know what the fuck this thing is.
So we have two things I wanted to address. And that is, I didn't want to sell anyone short, especially a woman working in the industry. So I needed to look up to make sure I wasn't miscrediting the producer of the original Halloween. And it was not his current wife. It was Deborah Hill, who at the time of the production was his girlfriend. So they were a couple when they made Halloween. But Deborah Hill was the producer of Halloween 1978, just to make sure no talented people are being overlooked by us here.
She was also the producer on this film as well. So
she was. So they were still working together.
Yes, I think they were a team for the majority of the 70s and 80s.
Right. Well, this would be the last one he did. I don't think he agreed with bringing Myers back in Halloween 4.
Yes.
That was Mustafa Akkad's play, and it just ran from there.
From my understanding of how the story goes, Halloween was originally supposed to be an anthology film series. Every movie was going to be a different Halloween story. The problem was they let Michael Myers go first. That became popular. The production company didn't want to let go of Michael Myers. So they said, you can make the third film if you make another Michael Myers film. So they made a sequel to Halloween, Halloween 2, and then they were able to make Halloween 3. But it did so badly because it wasn't Michael Myers. They decided to just go back to Michael Myers and never made another anthology film for the Halloween series.
I believe Gail was with me at the Trocadero Theater movie Monday night with a live Q&A with Carpenter.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
Yeah, he was streaming in from California. He actually, because the Sixers were playing his team at the time, he was consistently taking pot shots at the Sixers during the Q&A. And the funny thing is, a bunch of Philly film fans are like, "You're talking about sports. We don't give a shit, man." But
yeah, we don't do sports.
He also,
thank you.
He also refused to acknowledge. He didn't refuse to acknowledge Halloween. He was not taking Halloween questions. He very politely declined all Halloween questions during that Q&A. And I think he just felt, I've moved on with my life. I think after 3, he was done with Halloween. Even these newer ones that he has producer credits on, I don't think he's had much to do with them other than to say, yeah, you can use Michael Myers.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like he has done so many great films, but it's that curse of once you get connected to one great idea, that's all they remember you for. They don't remember you for the other great films that you do. Even if he's done the Scream series, Prince of Darkness, and a bunch of other crazy films that were actually legitimately
Scream
good.
series was Wes Craven.
Oh, Wes Craven. I bet. I apologize.
Prince of Darkness is absolutely his and uses a lot of the same cast as this film.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, it is definitely a weird one if you also want to check that out. It's like the devil's a tube of space goo, or it's just absolute insanity.
Donald Pleasance plays a priest. Alice Cooper plays a homeless guy who is possessed by the devil. It is one of the true classics. So this whole time too, I'm watching. Hold on, I wrote the name down. I am watching the Evil Irishman. Aren't they all?
Oh God! What? Wait, you talking about
Hurley?
Dan O'Hurley, yes.
The only one who didn't have an accent until his denouement. Yeah.
Also the old man in RoboCop.
Oh,
the head of OCP who led all of the evil corporate takeovers. Well, no, Dick led the evil corporate takeovers. The old man was supposed to have been this oblivious guy who didn't know how evil his corporation was until you get to RoboCop 2. Then it's like, oh, no, I'm straight up evil as well. But yes, this guy shows up with suits. You know bad things are going to happen. I think that's just his entire career. Dan O'Hurley shows up. A couple guys with suits are there. The shit's going to get weird.
I mean, how do you think that audition went? You know, I look good in a suit. What do you do? No, but I look good in a suit. What else do you need?
I look good in a suit. And
I'm evil.
There's like, yeah, but also there's a certain age to like all his characters. I don't know if he really had much of a career before he passed that 55, 60 mark where he could look like the distinguished older person. I don't know, but that's my takeaway. Yes, exactly. He does. Yeah. He looks like your corporate overlord who's about to pay you $8.25 an hour to do 40 hours a week and forget overtime.
Pause it. He looks like your typical 80s evil overlord corporate boss. Like, I feel like that doesn't quite hit the same way in the modern age. I say feeling extremely old.
No, I've started to realize, it's like, it seems like as the way horror movies change from decade to decade, so does the quintessential bad guy for every horror movie. Especially nowadays, it's more of the unknown spiritual entity, or it's some corporate guy who wants to fuck everybody over. And it just changes differently depending on the decade.
So I got a few notes.
Okay.
And I've been doing some detective work. This is there's a few great lines in this film. I've been doing some detective work. Did anyone else look at this and feel like he was about to say, I'm doing my own research? Just looking at how lines have aged. And, also, I wrote, we've already addressed this, but the line, seriously, where do you want to sleep, Dr. Chalice? Really?
Yeah.
I just want to I'm very proud of this, and I need to get this out there. My notes from when she showed up was, hot daughter, please don't end up with skanky guy. Calls him Papa. Is she 12? And then I'm very proud of this one. Deadbeat dad doubles down to dick distraught detective daughter.
Oh, that one's brilliant.
Thank you.
That one is brilliant.
Thank you. But also, what the fuck? Also, he waits until they've fucked twice before he finally asks her age.
Yes! Oh my God!
I remember that coming up, but I hadn't noticed that.
I was like, really? Okay.
Yeah. It's like,
I mean, I get it. Don't ask, don't tell, whatever. Like, you know.
Yeah.
This is
what you don't know won't get you on a registry somewhere.
Yes, exactly. And does he ever think about his kids until like the very fucking end? It's like, make them take their masks off. How about you tell them that? Instead of, I'm not coming. Oh, and by the way, make sure they never wear those masks again. It's like,
did you even say goodbye to your children when you
No!
Like,
no, he stood them up for Halloween, in fact.
Yeah. No, he said them twice. I'm like, okay. Yeah. That was what prompted the deadbeat dad part. It's like, no, sorry kids, I love you, but I'm gonna go fuck this child instead. Like, sorry, not an actual child, not actually calling anyone a pedophile, just being really creeped out by the May-December. Twice her age. I also had to look up his actual age and her actual age, since they never tell us how old the characters are. I was like, please, Jesus, stop. Just stop.
When the answer is, I'm old enough, it's like, no, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not then.
No, you're not.
Well, he also had that, like, hip older guy in the 80s, or wannabe hip older guy in the 80s who listens to jazz and wears a funny mustache. These were the guys that I was a teenager in the 80s, in that I was 18 when they ended. But as a teenager in the 80s, these are the guys that I looked at and went, Jesus Christ, Grandpa, just quit.
I was like, this guy, like, I know what's his name? Tom, whatever. Tom
Atkins.
Tom Atkins. I know he was like in a ton of really awesome movies. I felt like this was like, I was like, please, I need to go and see something else that you've watched just to cleanse my palate and validate myself as a performer, because if somebody like you could have a job, what am I doing wrong? Like, there were just so many times when I'm like, you're literally just standing there trying to exert as much testosterone out of your body as possible, and it's not working.
So
you should take an acting
pulling
class.
Another throwback, and also, giving credits. Is Lay B available anywhere to stream or watch?
I'm sorry?
This is a question for Gail, because he has never done anything as awesome as Lay B. And if anyone gets the opportunity to watch that, they need to. This is a movie, Crystal. I'm sorry, this is a movie Gail was in.
So a million years ago, I worked with a production company called Sweetbread Studios. And I don't think that the film project that we did is available, but we did create an underground drunken spelling bee. We created a mockumentary about the underground drunken spelling bee circuit, which then was sponsored by PBR. For a couple months at least, if not a full year, in Philadelphia, there was a drunken spelling bee happening in Philadelphia. And I don't know that Sweetbread Studios is still an entity. I do know that Jenna Serbu, who was our producer, is a film producer in LA. And Mark is with her. Mark is also producing in LA. My friends are over there. I haven't actually seen them in the real world in a very long time, but I keep up with them every now and then. I like to Google my friends and see that they're doing very well for themselves. So
I see Mark's Facebook posts, and Debbie, you will see Lay B, because as it turns out, as Gail probably knows, I keep all this shit, and I do have a DVD copy of it still in my possession. So
can't wait to
you'll get to see it. It's some fun.
I apologize in advance for the extremely cringe things that happened that one of the other characters chose to do. And this is coming from a person who's playing a character who basically doses her child with Jack Daniels. So it was my character. It was my character.
I have watched Princesses and Tiaras. This is nothing
valid.
Nothing you could do can compare to what those women have done.
That's fair.
And all I can say is I'm glad, so glad no one ever recorded any of my musical theater shit that I did. Nobody wants to see me screaming bye bye birdie. It's like,
all right, I am going to pull the tombstone tallies up again just to make sure we haven't missed anything, because I think it's time we start winding up a bit. I'm going to go down here real quick. May December Romance, Dick Warlock. Thank you for getting that one, by the way. I would have totally missed it. Understaffed hospital, no security in the hospital.
None. Yeah, there were like 10 people at most.
Saved Small Town. Oh yeah, that was saved.
I appreciate the quotes, because like the exposition from the drunk guy, like that hit so hard. Like the whole gentrification of the city by these Irish alien druid people, whatever, like Irish alien robot people. I don't know.
Yeah. It's the sheer fact that they brought a factory to a small town, but hired nobody in that small town.
Exactly.
But installed the most insane security system that does have a small uncredited cameo to Jamie Lee Curtis for voicing the what was it, when the sundown time, when it was like, okay, everybody go to bed now.
The speaker system.
Yes.
Nice. That's so cool.
And
I was wondering who did that.
And she was out of horror films by the time they did 4, because I understand they wanted her. But Curtis was never that into horror as a genre. It made a home for her, and she appreciated it, but she never liked it. Like, she was never a fan. So by the time 4 came along, it was, I'm in legit films right now. I love you guys, but this is my life.
I'm going to go make a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'll see y'all later.
Oh, True Lies didn't come till much later, and
Yeah.
that is actually a James Cameron classic.
Yeah, one of my favorites, honestly.
Same. Her whole character arc just fed my soul. So
all right.
cool. Also super hot. Anyway.
Crappy phone service, underappreciated SFX team, toy factory that doesn't make any toys, too many title cards. Some of these are repeats. That is okay. One screwed up version of Samhain.
Yes. The idea that, according to our main bad guy, that Samhain sacrificed a bunch of kids and animals, and that's how they protected the world, and now they got to do it because of all I'm like, okay, this is just more satanic panic about Halloween bullshit that I can't stand.
If you don't sacrifice the kids, I'm just gonna have to ride the bus with them, and you know.
I understand. I have worked in a video game store at Christmas. I understand. So
well-dressed security team, no understanding of time zones, and Stonehenge Rock. You know, I swear to God, I see that. I think Spinal Tap, but I know that's not where you were going.
Yeah, it's one of the plot points they really don't get into as much. It's like, here's our Stonehenge Rock. Anyway, it's a very short news clip that's played at a gas station with a black actor. I forget his name, but he is honestly one of the best parts of the fucking film.
Hell yes, thank you.
And they do a news report how one of the Stonehenge rocks are missing. And I did look it up, and there at one point someone did try to steal Stonehenge or part of Stonehenge. It did not go well. But in the movie Stonehenge, stone was stolen. Story forgotten about until like close to the end. Then they show the stone and they're chipping pieces off and use it as part of the mask, and that's how they're bringing the magic. And they're like, here's the stone. No talk about how they got it here. No talk about anything else about the stone. Okay, we're done. Moving on.
His name was Walter Jones.
Thank you so much. He was great.
Same thing. I was like, this guy's amazing. Also, random BBC, that was like one of my first notes. Random BBC news show being watched by an American gas jockey, ?
Hey, those gas station guys, they are very educated.
You know, you got nothing else to do. You might as well, crack a book, get some enlightenment, watch some weird British guy talk about some random. And I love that they didn't actually say Stonehenge. They talked about this henge and like this mystery thing that was happening. They never actually said Stonehenge at the beginning.
Like it's copyrighted and they didn't want to get sued or something.
They can only do it once and then they have to start paying.
Plausible deniability. I mean, if we just call it a henge, that means we had nothing to do with the
Well, they say Stonehenge at the end is the thing when they finally show the rock. And also, like, if you're going to cut pieces of a rock, would you really just like cut giant holes out of the middle? Wouldn't you like start from the top and like work a little bit more efficiently? But like they were just boring holes in the middle of this thing like they were, bored or something. It was really weird.
And it's like, at that point, if you're just using small chips for all those masks that somehow did not still get shipped out by Halloween, why don't just take a chunk of it instead of the whole freaking thing?
Right. Or if you're going to take the whole freaking thing and like, again, I feel like there's something about like, as a poor crafter, like the idea of having this giant resource and just breaking it up, like you're not respecting like the whole, there is so much resource there. You're going to fuck it up from the center. That's so dumb.
Yeah. All right. So I want to hit one thing before we wrap up. This is going to be our longest yet, but that's good. We've got more voices here and this has been great. I'm really happy with this dialogue. The Druids, so it has been said that this movie does not tie into the Halloween franchise. That is, in fact, not correct. The Druids reappear in Halloween 6 and talk about how they genetically engineered Michael Myers to kill his family as a Samhain sacrifice, tying into the Samhain sacrifices being made in Halloween 3. Halloween 6 is an underwatched film. I would say underappreciated, but I'm not sure that's accurate. But they do tie the druids into the standard Halloween chronology in the last film of the original timeline.
Yes. Speaking of timelines, weren't you telling me there's like 5 different Halloween timelines?
No, you were telling me that, and I argued with you that there were 4 because technically 3 is not its own timeline because they tie it in on 6.
Yes, it is what 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's its own timeline, and then there's like
Rob Zombie.
Then there's the Rob Zombie timeline. Then there's the 1, 2, and the most recent 3 films. That's its own timeline,
right.
And it's just like, can't we just watch the films? It's like, do we need? It's like those people that try to watch the Marvel movies in chronological time order. It's just watch the film.
Ooh,
like the Zelda timeline. You know, sometimes you just gotta accept that a game is a fucking game.
Yeah. I tried to watch something about the Zelda timeline, and I got a migraine halfway through, and I'm like, I'm just gonna watch dog videos. It's like, screw this.
Nope. Yeah.
We
could have a whole topic of that. Sorry.
No, it's fine. Any final thoughts from you two? So I think we'll sign off on this just to make the length right. And Debbie?
Well, good movie for if you're just interested in the kills. It's an okay storyline, and I'd say 3 tombstones out of 5. Gil?
Yeah.
I did enjoy ripping into this the way that it feels like we were sitting on the couch in our old apartment in Philly, but no, there was definitely a story. Here's my thing. Art is meant to evoke emotion. I definitely got emotional at some points. Most of that emotion was anger, but all in all, it was an interesting story. Yeah. And a very good a lot of really fun special effects and a couple really fun jokes about hand jobs at the end. 3 to 5.
You stole my joke.
Oh.
I was actually going to say that the movie ends with a happy ending.
Oh,
that being the hand job at the end.
I love your brain.
All right. So hey, I did miss one thing I wanted to point out. And that is if you this all goes up on the Cthulhu Martini YouTube channel, though I try and keep this in its own stream, and I would be reticent to have Gail on the show without pointing out that Gail does at this point all of the voiceovers in Cthulhu Martini recordings. It's a quick piece in I Want to Fuck to Romero, which we're hoping to do a video for soon, and the introduction for the new album as well. So Gail is my go-to voice actor, and I've got another script coming to you too for the next thing we're working on.
I also want to re-record everything because I got the new shiny. So
awesome. All right, so that is I think that's going to be our show this month, and thanks everyone for joining us. By the way, I love the Suspiria t-shirt.
Thank you.
That's good catch.
Goblin played live at the Castro Theater, and it was amazing.
Yes. Oh, I've forgotten. It's the perfect time to remember the other line I wrote down. Where is your Halloween spirit? I think that needs to be an everyday phrase. I think we need to use it for the remaining, I don't know, let's say 5 more days till Halloween.
I mean, how dare you?
Don't.
Wow.
Don't you I just got it out of my head. Why did you do this to us? Why did you do this to us?
And with that,